Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am so excited to be joined by New York Times best-selling author Jennifer Holland.
Yay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was saying that's got to be a great intro title to the name. It must feel good.
Very, very happy with that. Yes, no complaints.
So I want to talk about your new book. This is the fourth in the series.
Right.
Okay, Unlikely Friendships. That was the first. Now this is Unlikely Friendships, Dogs, and we're showing the cover right up on the screen. Now I have to tell you, I was looking at this last night, and it makes you feel good, and especially at a time when it's really hard sometimes to find stories about compassion and about human kindness and decency towards one another.
Exactly.
This book just made me smile. So tell me how Unlikely Friendships, Dogs came into creation.
So, well, I have the series, as you mentioned, and as you say, this is happy, positive stories for the most part. There's a few tears now and then, but the general idea is really animals that show kindness and compassion, sometimes across species lines, doing something that I think we need to learn from, being generous and kind to others who aren't like ourselves, for example. There were so many stories with dogs in them, and everybody loves their dogs, and dogs seem to be really the thing these days. And,
well, I was going to say you're in a town that dubs itself as Bark City.
Yes,
this is definitely a dog town. Exactly, right? This is a dog town, yeah. So I get it. And I think you hit the nail on the head that there are so many underlying themes here,
yeah.
Especially for kids, where you can be talking about a story that is seemingly just about animals and maybe interspecies connections, but it can open up a dialogue that's a lot deeper.
Right, right. That's my hope. And kids do seem to love the books. The pictures are really awe-inspiring, as my publisher says.
They
are. And adults too. Anyone who loves animals really seems to gravitate toward these books.
This is, and I just want to mention a couple that I just thought were too much. So I was literally sitting there last night and I'm looking at this, and we had the news on, and my husband, it's so depressing, and I'm looking at this and my husband's saying, "What are you reading?" And I'm just, "It's nothing, I'm fine." And I'm smiling, and then I'm tearing up, and I mean, it's just this whole thing. And so the seeing eye dog who can't see.
Yes.
I thought that was just one of the sweetest stories. Tell us a little bit about that one.
This is fabulous. Yes, this is in the UK, wonderful family, and the gentleman is blind and had a seeing eye dog after actually that dog recently passed away, unfortunately, but it had a wonderful long life, and it was his seeing eye dog until it lost its own sight from the same disease that the man had.
They both had glaucoma.
Really,
I mean, the irony.
Just incredible. And so they were able to get another seeing eye dog, which in some sense leads the first seeing eye dog around in addition to the gentleman.
It leads them both.
It's great fun. It's
just fantastic.
Unusual.
And then to see the three of them, there's some photos in there. Yes, there's the photo of the two of them, and he's leading the seeing eye dog, and then the seeing eye dog's leading his owner. I mean, it was just such a fantastic moment. I thought that was a great one. The other one I absolutely loved, and this was, I went through the hope, then the sad tears, then the backup again, the Bionic dog.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorites actually. This is a story that was also in Unlikely Heroes, the third book, and we collected just a few of our favorites from
you would
the other
have
books.
To include this one.
And this dog is fabulous. It's got it has to have these fake limbs, these made limbs for it.
Doggy prosthetic
limbs.
Exactly. I mean, it was amazing.
And it's such an inspiration to kids and soldiers and anybody who has had similar kinds of troubles, and it really is just a sweet and loving, kind dog, even though it went through a really troubled time as a puppy.
There he is.
Just had to get used to these legs, and it's just, this story, I love this dog. I got to meet this dog, and it's just a fabulous animal.
Well, and I think just to tell the audience out there, so the dog was abandoned as a puppy in a basement cellar, and his paws, I mean, this is just so horrific.
I know, it's horrible
was frozen to a puddle with frostbite, and they had to amputate every single one of his paws. And I hate to say it, but I think in a lot of situations people just would have put the dog down, or said this is just hopeless. And to this one woman who saw this dog and read her story and said, "That's my dog," and it became a real symbol. She was a vet tech and would bring the dog to work, and it became this symbol of just hope and compassion for the whole community. He became a little local celebrity.
Yeah, and the company that made the prosthetic limbs actually donated a couple of them just to get things started, and they took up donations at the clinic to pay for the rest of them. So people really just came together to make sure this dog had a good life.
And I love that she chose the American flag, that she could have chosen a lot of, you know, flowers and camo and all these things for his prosthetic. She said, nope, I want him to be a real symbol, you know, of hope for the country and how anyone can overcome anything, and all of the children. I think it's just a fantastic message. And the book is just filled with those types of stories, I have to tell you. Those are just a couple of my favorites. But flipping through, the other one I just have to talk to you about, the pit bull who nursed the kitten that was found. That I just...
Pit bulls, you know, they have such a bad reputation. You know, there's recently, I think in Montreal, they're banning pit bulls completely.
Right.
And people just have this sense that they're evil inside, and they're really wonderful dogs. I've known more sweet and gentle pit bulls than probably any other breed.
It's really a circumstance of their environment, not the breed.
Absolutely. And this one in particular, it's like a mother to this cat that didn't have a mom, and just, you know, knows how to be a gentle and kind and giving animal, and does so for this kitten. So,
well, I think it's wonderful. And on the surface, it definitely, you think, okay, it's another wonderful dog pet book, but the issues that it brings up and the themes go so much deeper. And I think it's just, especially right now, as we said, a fantastic edition. So if you guys are out looking for a Christmas gift, birthday gift, I know this is Bark City here in Park City. This is definitely something you want to pick up. I know you're on a national book tour right now. So as a reminder, you're in Park City.
Thank you. I'm never quite sure where I am.
I know, it's every day is different, right? So where are you headed?
Well, so today I'll be visiting a couple of schools, giving talks, and then this evening I'll be at King's English at 7 o'clock signing books and giving probably a little presentation to whoever stops by. And then I move on and start doing some West Coast for the next leg of the tour. So
fantastic. So if you want to get an autographed copy and meet Jennifer in person, King's English this evening at 7 p.m. and you definitely want to put this on your Christmas list. I think this is a fantastic book. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back here on the Mountain Morning Show. Up next, Ski Utah is in studio right here at Park City Television.